So this talk today is organized by a couple of colleagues of mine and myself. So there's a list of names. We have Anjan Pal, who's sitting in the front row, and he's replying to the chat in Zoom with myself, and he also mutes everyone online. So make sure you're staying muted. Then Alex helped to organize, but he is currently, I think, teaching. Nikki is sitting at the front as well. She helped. Pierre-Luc helped. I don't think he's here. I have a feeling he's teaching as well. And then myself. So this is a part of an entire series. There's one more practitioner talk highlighted in blue, and we have a QR code at the end of the talk for anyone who wants to come to the next practitioner talk. It should be quite exciting. For anyone in the room who is a member of staff and wants a certificate, you know what I'm talking about, just come to me at the end and you can sign your name in a book. We got you sorted.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name's Sam. I am It's the CEO of Disruptor Media and Disruptor Training. I've been in marketing for over 20 years, so as you can tell, I started when I was about 5 years old. And yeah, I've started back way before a lot of the tools and technologies we have at our fingertips today were available. Back in the days when we were putting tweets into Excel sheets. And we are a multi-award-winning agency. Oops, sorry, I'm going on the wrong screen here. So some of the brands that I have worked with, it's not working.
There's a bottom error in the bottom.
Oh, there we go, sorry. So some of the brands we've worked with then, we've done campaigns for the United Nations through to Procter & Gamble, built web projects, so a full service marketing agency. We've delivered everything from digital campaigns to design, branding, websites, email marketing, SEO, PPC. But recently, in the past couple of years, my business changed in line with my personal situation. The business shrank, various members of team left, and I started to look into AI and all the tools that are available, and I developed quite a passion for it and got quite obsessed. So like I said, the business, a few changes in my personal life, decided to kind of contract a little bit and upskill in this area, hence why I'm here speaking to you today. So we have actually been delivering campaigns for clients using AI recently, very successfully, and I'm here to share some of that knowledge with you today. So without further ado, let's dive into what is artificial intelligence. So the definition, as per IBM, it's technology that enables computers and machines to simulate human intelligence. So it uses pattern recognition, so it solves problems, it can automate things, they power advanced systems and contract vast amounts of data, extract insights, perform complex tasks, and generally make our lives a lot easier. But what is actually quite fascinating to know is that 63% of people are unaware that they're using AI as part of their everyday lives. So let's have a look at just some of the few use cases for artificial intelligence then. So personal assistants, we have Siri, we have Alexa, so they're powered by voice commands. You can play music with them, you can set reminders, get weather updates, control your smart home devices. Recommendation systems, so Netflix, Amazon, Spotify, systems whereby so the recommended films which I would get on Netflix and the TV series relate to what I've watched, how long I've watched stuff for, what do I enjoy. So what I get recommended to me will be very different to like what some of you get recommended, unless we watch exactly the same things. But you know, things are profiled based on socio-demographics. You've got recommendations on Amazon, so suggestions of products that based on products that you've bought historically, or products that people that Amazon identifies as being similar to you have bought, so it would suggest them as what you may like. You've got so Spotify. I once heard something very funny where a wife wouldn't let her husband use her Spotify because it messed with the algorithms, and she didn't want it disturbing what she was getting suggested to play. Email filtering then, so the difference between something landing in your personal inbox and spam, it can kind of potentially weed out dangerous emails, it keeps your inboxes clutter-free. Navigation and travel, so you must have done a journey and it says your arrival time is supposed to be 2 o'clock in the afternoon, next minute it changes to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's because you've got real life data being plugged into your sat nav that will tell you that, you know, there's been an accident or this roadworks or something similar unexpected. Fraud detection. So, you know, people get phone calls from the banks because it identifies suspicious transactions. So it kind of picks up threats to you and your account. But then now where AI is actually getting like quite dangerous is you've got people ringing up saying, oh, can you just confirm XYZ details, because and people are getting duped the other way as well. So fraud detection, smart home devices, so security cameras, thermostats, lighting systems. Does anybody have smart devices in the home where they, yeah, put your hands up just to say, okay. But even when, you know, somebody comes to the door, if you've got like a Nest door cam or similar, the pattern recognition will show you, will detect that it's a familiar face. You also have customer service chatbots, so customer support through voice interactions, which kind of learns how to respond based on queries it's had previously. Like companies train these bots on the companies on their products and services, and you know, common problems that are encountered, common queries. Healthcare applications then, so it's used a lot in patient management, diagnostics. If you've got a smartwatch, it'll tell you your heart rate. Social media, so photos, Facebook will suggest who to tag because it again recognises the faces, the pattern recognition side. Autonomous vehicles, so self-driving cars, not so much here, but I was in the States in the summer, and you know, San Francisco had self-driving taxis. Can I show of hands, who'd get in one? I would. Yeah. I'm terrified. I know. It's the modern world, isn't it? So AI is part of our everyday lives, but the benefits to a business in terms of marketing, so the AI and automations, it'll give you the ability to improve your client targeting. So AI will help segment your customers better, so you can personalise your messages. Your customer insights, so you get vast amounts of data whereby you can look at sentiments as well, so you can look at what people are saying about your brands online at various touch points, analyse interactions, identify pain points, anticipate needs, and address concerns as well. So data-driven decision making, it can identify emerging opportunities, it can sift through vast amounts of data and inform your strategic decision making, minimising risk and maximising your return. But I think kind of like a couple of the really, really big benefits to businesses are the cost and time savings associated. It makes, like, we're going to talk through some examples today, so it can handle repetitive tasks, which, you know, you don't want to get bogged down in, and also, well, a cost saving as well, not just a cost saving, but you can increase your return on investment by having smart bidding systems with your ads. And faster media creation, which I think absolutely blows my mind, and it's one of the areas which I've got very, very into of late. So we're going to have a look at that in just shortly, but then in terms of the cost and time savings then, so it can deliver 80% of email marketing automation, 50% of data analysis, 80% of content and social media management, 70% of your customer inquiries, and 50% of SEO and website optimization. But I must stress that AI, as fantastic as it is, you still need human interaction. So I kind of liken it. So an analogy which I sort of thought for the purpose of today is it's like having fantastic ingredients, so local produce, but you've got no chef to follow the recipe and put it together. So you do need a human, and I'm going to sort of talk about some examples as to why that is important as well. So there's a little example there in terms of how you would save money from a social media perspective. But then again, if that person costs you £30,000 a year, and you are, you know, it can save time and save you 50%, then that person can focus more on strategic activities. So rather than kind of like doing the day-to-day repetitive tasks of scheduling posts, etc., they can look at the bigger picture and content and decide what should be putting out there, looking at the data, influencing the strategies from that, rather than kind of replying to inbox messages online and scheduling and creating content at a snail's pace. So this is what we call the race model. So anybody who's got a background in marketing, or maybe not necessarily, will probably understand the concept of the race model, which is a sales funnel. So you've got at the top, you've got reaching people, so that's where you're making people aware of your brand. The act stage, where you want to encourage them to engage with you, to make that purchase. The conversion is converting them into a customer, buying your product, buying your service. And then the engagement is that kind of keeping them involved and engaging with your brand. So that is all the different stages of the race model, and what I've put in there is like the different elements of marketing and where they fit, with like a nice little colour code in terms of like what is an AI application versus what's machine learning. So dynamic pricing, for instance, a little bit of a controversial subject, like, because prices fluctuate. I mean, anybody who's been on, looking for a holiday in the school holidays will see that, pricing is reflected in terms of demand. You've got all these different elements at the different stages, and I'm going to kind of touch on a few of these today. I'm conscious that we have only got an hour, so I'm going to try and get through as much as possible, because it's like not nearly long enough to talk about AI and marketing. There's going to be certain elements which I unfortunately won't be able to cover, but today we're going to look at the unlocking creativity and efficiency. So that's the focus of today. But I'm just put a few stats on there as well, in terms of how marketers are responding to AI. So 91% are already using it. 88% find that the software is saving them time and money. Can't actually see the figures because I've moved it. 63% are using it for email marketing, 90% for automation, which I think is probably one of the biggest use cases, because to kind of get a robot to sort of do those repetitive tasks for you is a godsend. And there's some more stats as well. So 95% believe it will improve their ability to personalise customer experiences. So personalisation, whether that's in your email marketing or talking about Netflix and Spotify, so giving people specific products and services which will interest them. 82% say that content generated is just as good or better than human generated content. 67% see it as transformative tech rather than just a tool, and 69% see it as creating job opportunities. Personally, I don't believe that AI will take jobs. I think what will take people's jobs is people who know how to use it. So I think AI is presenting a lot of opportunities, for people to be able to sort of look at businesses from a strategic and get more creative, but then also it will assist in unlocking your creativity. So I've just put some examples here of how AI is unlocking creativity in marketing. So A/B powered testing and optimisation. Does anybody know what A/B testing is? So you could split test two ads against each other and see which one performs better. We used this recently with a coffee brand that we work with. So we delivered a B2B campaign where they were wanting to get their coffee machines and their coffee into offices, bakeries, convenience stores, petrol stations. And we found that with the petrol station audience, the image of the woman holding the cup performs better than the image of the man, for instance. And AI will kind of help you make those diagnoses. Predictive and setting creative trends. Hyper-personalised marketing. So again, kind of content optimisation, serving people the right content at the right time based on what they're interested in. If ever you want to feel insulted, then certain online audio books make some very offensive recommendations to me and makes me question my life choices. So AI is a creative brainstorming partner. So if sometimes you might get a bit of a creative block, and you can I'm going to use the example of ChatGPT because I'm sure it's one that most people are familiar with. You can ask to kind of give you certain ideas. You can put a URL in for a particular website and say, I'm working with this brand, I've got to do a social media campaign. The target audiences are females aged 20 to 40. Can you give me some content ideas? So AI-powered content creation then, again, like Canva is one of the examples I'm going to use. You can put your brand kits into Canva, so the the colours that the brand uses, high-res versions of the logos and the fonts, and it will help to create content at speed. AI generated music, voice and sound design. So I've recently cloned my own voice and I've created a digital avatar of myself as well, which I'm going to show you very shortly. And then just generally enhancing your interactive and immersive experiences as well. So there's lots and lots of ways that AI can unlock that creativity and just sort of help you on your way, because like it's, you know, I would be very surprised if somebody who works in the creative industries wakes up every day full of absolutely fantastic ideas and they're unimpacted by life and, you know, everything that goes with it. So I'm going to give you an example of faster media creation here. This is a video I made in less than 1 minute that shows you how you can create 25 social media posts using ChatGPT and Canva, and it uses the example of creating inspirational quotes for an interior design company.
In less than 1 minute, I'm going to teach you how to do 25 social media posts using ChatGPT and Canva. Let's get into it. We open ChatGPT and we ask it to write us 25 inspirational quotes for interior designers. We then select the quotes, copy them, open Google Sheets and paste them into there. We then save the sheet as a CSV file. Next we open Canva, select social media posts and then Instagram post. We go to templates, quotes and then select our favourite. The next step is to go to bulk create and upload the file that we've just saved. Select the text where we want the quote to go, click on the three dots and connect the data. Select the quote text on the left and then click generate 24 designs. Then go back to the home page, select your project and watch the magic happen. You can then go in and make any changes to layout, text, etc. to make the quotes exactly as you want them. If you're ready to learn about AI marketing, get in touch today.
So that's just one example, but it doesn't necessarily have to be quotes. It can be anything that you want to create en masse. It could be tips. So I recently created a template for to showcase my blog. So just something nice and pretty with the title on. So I put all the blog titles into a CSV file and bulk uploaded that and dropped them in. So then, you know, I had 100 graphics to accompany the blog post in, again, less than a couple of minutes. So generative AI. So is anybody familiar? Anybody had a dabble with any generative AI, like prompting it to create images? Yeah. Okay. So I actually went quite into terms and conditions, etc., ahead of today because I didn't want to give any false information. But unfortunately, I cannot live stream an example. I can only assume it's in case it creates something offensive, because you never know what you're going to get sometimes. But for the purpose of today, obviously we're at York University, we're in York. I know there's a few York business owners here and watching online. So I just thought I'd have a little bit of fun and kind of create something potentially for the tourism industry. So I asked it to give me images of Vikings checking into luxury hotels. So this is what we got. So there's some nice images here. So like combining the heritage of York with the tourism industry, and like just kind of thought of something for the purpose of today to come up with. Some more as well. So I think it understood the assignment on this occasion. But then you can. This is all just like a first round of prompts. So you can kind of go back and you can say, actually, can you give me some floor-to-ceiling windows? Can you make the carpet red? Can you give me someone behind the reception desk? Can it be a Viking checking in a Viking? So you can adapt it even further. And then I thought, let's go for a Viking eating in an Italian restaurant. As you can see, the one in the middle has got an extra finger. So these are the things to watch out for. It's not perfect, but I think one of the main things to remember and one of the things to take away from today is that this technology is as bad as it's ever going to be. It's only going to keep improving from here. So potentially quite scary what we're going to get in the future. I then asked it to create some images of York. So I asked it, but then once you've got the images, you can ask it to create it in different styles as well. You know, without being overly pedantic, as somebody who lives in York, I don't think it's done a bad job. So we've got some more as well. As you can see, the Minster is an amazing landmark here, so it utilises that in the majority of the images. I guess that's how it's differentiating it from being York from another city. And then we went for some more vibrant images as well. So you may be wondering, like, how does it do this? And I, you know, again, at the start of my learning journey, I've been kind of studying this for like nearly 18 months now, going down many rabbit holes, trialing many tools. And one thing I do want to stress today as well is that the tools that I'm showing you are just my personal favourites at this moment in time. So there's hundreds of thousands of tools out there that you can use, but I'm just going to talk you through my favourites for various reasons. But then, you know, I'm not saying that anything's particularly bad. There'll be lots that I've not even, you know, had an opportunity to look at yet, unfortunately. So these are all done in Canva, and if you're wondering where the images come from, then it learns from large data sets. So it's trained on millions of images that are licensed, publicly available. But then what you'll find is some AI tools will filter out specific content. So DALL-E won't generate Disney characters. So there are some ethical considerations. In terms of ownership of the images, that's largely subjective to what tool you're using. But I can only urge you to sort of, like, you know, make sure that you have got permission to use things before putting them out in the public domain. So I mentioned previously about creating an avatar of myself and cloning my voice. So given that, like, my kind of revised plan, and I'm moving largely into the AI training space. I'm delivering courses. I'm doing events like today. But I can't, you know, it's such a fast changing technology that I'll be constantly re-recording things. So this way I can literally input some text and my clone will speak it in my voice. So here is an example of that. And also I speak any language in the world, just to put that out there.
Hi, it's Sam. Or is it? Actually, I'm not the real Sam. I'm her digital clone. So I'm going to speak a bit more posh, or should I say a bit less Scarborough, because I can.
Yes, this is an AI-powered version of Sam Risker, capable of speaking multiple languages. And in any accent I want, to engage audiences and demonstrate just how powerful AI has become. Hola a todos, también puedo hablar español. Hallo zusammen, ich kann auch Deutsch sprechen. 大家好，我也可以说中文。Namaste, मैं हिंदी भी बोल सकती हूँ. Imagine the possibilities, creating content in multiple languages, engaging global audiences, and scaling businesses faster than ever before. AI isn't here to replace us, it's here to work with us. And trust me, this is just the beginning.
What do we think of that? So, and I didn't even need to translate the text into the different languages. It did it all automatically. Pretty crazy stuff, isn't it? So, yeah, there's lots of this technology being used at the minute. There's lots of courses which have been created by, you know, the content being put into an avatar. I could have used a number of avatars available to me with any voice, any language, but I kind of invested. Well, it didn't actually take a massive amount of time to create a digital clone and to clone your voice. You can get a very rough recording, a rough voice clone off like a couple of minutes. I uploaded 30 minutes worth of audio to clone my voice. So I literally just sat in my office and rabbited away at the poor thing about my life story, and that's what it came up with. And then, you know, you literally put the two together. But I can make my avatar speak in any voice I want. I can put my voice into another avatar. You know, the possibilities are absolutely endless. So practical applications then. So let's move on to social media. I use a tool called Metrical. It's my personal favourite. There's lots of others out there. But with Metrical, why I like it, and I'm going to give you a little demo. I'm going to sort of be brave to come off the PowerPoint and go onto a browser. What I like about Metrical is you can link all of these different platforms, so you have everything in one place. You know, you're not flicking between Instagram and LinkedIn. one of the biggest time consuming things for me working in marketing is monitoring lots of different inboxes across lots of different platforms. Whereas on Metrical, all your inboxes, you've got one inbox for all platforms, which you can sort of segment, and then you can segment based on if you've not read them or action them. So you link all of these platforms, and then I just screenshot where you go to create your post. So here you put your text in. You can edit it per platform, because obviously different platforms have different word counts. Some use hashtags, some don't. If you want to sort of tag anyone or any brand or a location or anything into your post, then what somebody's handling on Facebook might be different to what it is on Instagram. So you can tweak it across all your different platforms. You schedule it whenever you want. So you can literally just go in and post something every Tuesday morning at 10 o'clock, every Wednesday at 2 o'clock. But what is also fantastic as well, because it uses AI, it tells you the best times to post. So this particular one is for LinkedIn. So LinkedIn being a professional platform, as you can see, there's not much going on LinkedIn. Well, weirdly on a Friday, which is a weekday, so what does that tell us? Certainly not much activity on a Saturday, but on a Sunday, I'm guessing like as the weekend's coming to an end and people are starting to think about the week ahead, and they want to kind of get on top of messages, kill a bit of time, they're sort of sat having the morning coffee. So you can put, and I wouldn't advocate this is my personal recommendation, posting at the times when everybody's online, just before it is probably best, so that your post is there ready for when people do log on. So that shows you LinkedIn, and then we've got Facebook and Instagram there. So Facebook on the left, Instagram on the right. So Instagram, my followers are very active, sort of 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Monday, sort of. It must be when people are like, they're on Monday out, they've had the lunch, they think, let's have a little scroll. And then obviously on a night as well, certainly not in the early hours because people are asleep. So yeah, so you can absolutely maximise your posts and your content to be going out to the right people at the right time to get the best possible results. What's also good about Metrical is all your dashboards in one place. So you're not having to flick between the analytics of going from Facebook to TikTok back to LinkedIn and pulling all the data together. You can just see everything in one place. So interactions, number of posts, followers, impressions, but then also it'll show you your best performing posts as well. So what did you post? How many impressions did you get? And what were the interactions like? So this is my Metrical account, and what I did for the purpose of today, again, York, very popular tourism city, and I'm guessing most people in the room will know a lot of the hotels in York. So what you can do on Metrical is, as well as sort of see where all your followers are, you can look at your competition. So I've not put my direct competitors in here, but for the purpose of this session today, I thought I'd have a little bit of fun and do sort of York hotels. So a list of hotels here, everyone from the Churchill, Milner, and what I did to sort of keep it fair is I kept some of the larger brands out of there with multi-million-pound budgets. So I thought I'd sort of stick to some of the more independent ones. I do appreciate there's someone there that are part of groups. So this is for Facebook, so I can instantly see which one have got the most followers. So you can start from high to low, low to high. So the one with the most hot followers I can tell you is the Churchill. So this is actually for the past month. Let's have a look at the past 12 months and see how everybody's faring. So again, the Churchill has the most followers, followed by the Grand. And then what we can do is we can look and see who's got the most likes, who's done the most posts. So Middle Four Paul has actually done the most posts. But then, what a really key metric is in marketing is, it's not It's not about the size of the audience, it's about the engagement and having the right audience following you. So who's got the best engagement is actually the bar convent. So that's for Facebook. You can look at this from any time period, so you can have a look in more detail. So let's look at more stats. So I can see exactly how many followers they've got, how many interactions they've had. I can look at the different posts. And another key thing to look at as well is once you identify who's got the most engagement, you can go into more detail and look at the list of posts. So right, which one got the most reactions? So the Milner York, which one was that? So planning to get away to York, book your stay. So that one got the most reactions. What got the most comments? So
Competition.
we're giving you the chance. All you got to do is like the post. So it's hardly surprising that one has got the most reactions. What's got the most comments? Again, anything to kind of win a prize. The most shares. Oh, that didn't have the most shares. So the one that had the most shares was the bar convent. So I did that for Facebook, but then I thought it'd be interesting to have a look at it on Instagram as well, because you can download this and look at one, compare it against the other, and you'll sort of spot trends as well. Like, some businesses might be more focused on Instagram, and they don't invest as much effort in Facebook. So if we're looking at Instagram, so who's got the most followers? The Grand. The Milner don't seem as active on Instagram as they are on Facebook. Who's posted the most? Middlethorpe Hall. But who's got the best engagement? The Guy Fawkes Inn has got the best engagement on Instagram. So to me, that makes a lot of sense. It's a historic location. It does fantastic food. So I'm guessing there's like a lot of images of the foods, the Sunday lunch, and the actual building and the interior as well. So very, very useful tool is Metrical. I'll just show you as well. So the inbox functionality. So just one inbox for everything, and it tells you where it's come from: Facebook, TikTok. But I can have a look at all the messages I got through on a specific platform if I want. I can look at all the unread ones. In terms of planning, you've got your calendar and your schedule there. So if you wanted to create a post, you can create your ads as well. So you can manage all your ads through Metrical. So I'm going to go back onto the deck now. So that's just an example of how AI is used in social media. So you can create posts en masse, you can schedule them, you can look at your competitors, you can look at your analytics, get everything in one dashboard. So again, automation. Zapier or Zapier, depending on where you hail from, is a fantastic tool. Can I have a show of hands, anyone who's used it? Oh no, interesting. So it's a fantastic tool to automate pretty much any process. So this is just one that I've got set up for mine. So what I find is when people go on the website and they fill in a form to receive more information or download an ebook, it'll put them into a Google sheet. So it'll go into my CRM system, it'll go into a Google sheet. But then also as well, so I get a lot of LinkedIn messages, and your inbox on LinkedIn sort of shows you sent messages as well, and I find it really hard to keep on top of. So I've got an automation set up that anybody who replies to me goes into my Google sheet, so I can sort of keep track of replies. So these are just a few examples. So I, for the purpose of today, looked at marketing campaigns, and it sort of segmented it into email marketing automation templates, social media sharing. So you think of it like this. So you could, I'm just in the process at the minute of setting up an automation that when I post a new blog, it'll take three key takeaways from that blog, It will create graphics in Canva. It'll even take it as far as scheduling it. But I think in terms of like kind of managing your data, because it's absolutely, you know, if you've got lots of different campaigns going, you might have a campaign on Facebook, a campaign on LinkedIn, a campaign on Instagram, PPC, directing people to your website, but to kind of make sure that everything talks to each other and everybody's looked after and receives a reply. So anybody who kind of goes to book a chat with me at the minute will receive an email back automated with a link to my Calendly so they can drop into my diary. When they drop into the diary, it creates a diary entry for both parties. It then includes a diagnostic link so I can ask them some initial questions about what their objectives, what they're doing at the minute, what's working, what's not, which will then go into my CRM system, and then I'm all prepared for my meeting. All we need to do now is get digital avatar Sam to have the meeting and answer the questions. But it's coming. So, like Zapier, I think it's fantastic, and I just wanted to sort of show you as well. So this box here, there's 7,000 apps, but like you can like vision any situation. So somebody sends you an email, so you can create it so that when your email comes in, it'll send a prompt to ChatGPT to reply to the email. It'll drop people into your CRM. So everything's possible. Like just a real simple one that I've got set up is anybody who any leads that come through on Facebook will drop into your inbox. So Zapier converts your lead into a lead form, so to go straight into your inbox. But then you could obviously pull out the information from that lead form to put it into your CRM, set yourself a task. So highly recommend having a look at it. It is a free tool. You start paying when you want more sophisticated automations, which I'm sure you can appreciate. Next then, so email marketing. So how AI is used in email marketing. So this is MailChimp. This is for a brand we're working on called Power Pit Stops, which is a directory of EV charging locations. So I literally went onto MailChimp and greeted with this page. So what do you want to do? So do you want to advertise? Do you want to educate and inform? Do you want to sell products, sign up, announce, attend an event, sell services, or something else? So I put, I believe, sign up. So the next page, I didn't even put this text in. It took it from the website and created a heading and a subheading and suggested what I should have as the call to action button. But you can change all that, and then takes you onto this page. So it put an image in there for me from the website, but I could add more images if I wanted. So I didn't on this case. I just thought, let's just like do the bare minimum and see what happens. So put all this information in. Boom. Gives me 4 to choose from, all on brand. The brand source, so that's the website. So literally don't, you know, and you select which one you want, and then it gives you the template. You could get ChatGPT or Jasper to do another. You could prompt it to give you some copy, say your objectives are X, Y, Z. Again, put the URL in, it'll take information from the website. It'll give you suggestions of subject lines. You can split test the subject lines, see which one performs better. You can test different emails with different audiences. So it just takes the legwork out of everything, and it allows you to be more strategic and you know, more sort of diagnostic and kind of like making sure that your marketing does meet your objectives. So this is a really cool example. So on the subject of, again, of email marketing and lead generation, I feel like I've done a lot of kind of B2C examples, so I'm going to give you a B2B example now. So this is a real life example for a client. So what we did is we used LinkedIn Sales Navigator so this client, it's a lovely client. They do commercial EV charging. They do it fully funded. So basically they install chargers at a country pub. It costs the pub nothing, and they take a revenue share. So you put the job title. So we've gone for senior decision makers, so managers, directors, owners in the UK, because they are nationwide. But then, you know, if you did want to kind of dilute your efforts too much, you could focus on a certain geographical area, so say York or Gloucester or Lincoln, you know, wherever it may be. You select your industry. So this is actually quite broad. there's not loads of parameters in here. You can get really, really into the nitty gritty, and you know, come with a smaller audience. So there was 100,000 results of people who tick these boxes. So we didn't actually, like, we narrowed it further. So we just went for, I believe it was managers. So we took the directors out because and just like went for managers, which I believe yielded 11,000 results. So next thing we do is we create a sequence. So we send the invitation, and if they're done, so as you can see, if they accept it, a day after that, we like a post. A day after that, we send them a message. So that is kind of the nurturing sequence to take them from, you know, accepting your connection request to being a potential prospect. The way that AI kind of, as well as the automation of this, because imagine how much time it would take if you had like 11,000 people and you're having to pick out who's replied to you and then, you know, put a note to follow that one up 3 days later and then 2 days after that. It would just be an absolute mean feat, but one which, you know, we as marketers had to do. So the personalised note which accompanies the connection request is as follows. So we can personalise by any of these things. So first name, last name. So we could say, hi Bob, or hi Mr. Smith. We could make it relevant to the position. So if we were going out as a recruitment company, we could say our solutions are for HR managers and directors. So this is the message that goes out. And again, the human element, so AI is not going to tell you, well, it probably would if you asked it, but you know, it takes a bit of intuition to understand that, oh, hang on a minute, any venue that doesn't have a car park is not a prospect. So we wheeled them out at the start by saying, do you have car parking facilities? And, you know, we get a lot of messages back which say, no, actually we don't, sorry, but, you know, thanks for thinking of us. So we send that initial message, and then that's the second message they get. So then we kind of go in and we personalise it a little bit further, and we say help venues like, and we make it relevant to the company, because again, it's the personalisation, it's making them relevant. It's like, you know, you're talking to the plough in, and you know, it kind of makes them think, oh yeah, that's me. This is the messages for me personally. They don't know it's automated. So that particular campaign, and this was just after 5 days, there was 178 leads in the system, 216 pending invitations. You had an acceptance rate of 22.8%, a reply rate of 3.3%, but then 900% increase in profile views. So this particular client's brand awareness went through the roof, like not just for him as a professional, but the company he was working for. So data analysis, there's different sources of data which need to be taken into consideration when influencing your decisions when it comes to marketing, and AI, as I mentioned at the start, is fantastic at looking at vast amounts of data. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I don't need to kind of go into what a website is, etc. But what I will say is, to get your data for a website, obviously it's Google Analytics, it's GA4. But AI, you can set it up so that reports are triggered. So if it spots certain anomalies, or a spike in traffic, or an increase in traffic from a certain location, or a shift in the devices that people are viewing you from, you can set up notifications for pretty much for many elements, so you can react in real time. And it will also, you know, be able to detect sort of surges in sales that you can attribute to certain things. So you've got different sources of customer data, and you know, the tools that you can use to sort of like delve into this. So again, let's just stick on websites for ease. You've got heat mapping software, so you can see where people click on your website, where they scroll, what they look at, and it's like literally like a heat map. So, you know, red for like the hot areas, going to green for not so much. So yeah, data is very, very important when making decisions. And you know, like AI allows us to be able to like look at vast amounts of it in micro time, and then even if you send in an e-shot, the clicks, the opens, taking that information, and anyone who's sort of clicked on something will receive will trigger a certain another email sequence. If they don't open it, they might get a similar email with a different subject. So it's really, really important that data and customer insights are considered in your marketing strategies. So almost everything I've talked about today is free. Just a list of some of the tools, because I know that you're getting the slides, so in the event it's of interest to anybody, here are the tools that we've used. So your next steps then, so if you're a business, if you're interested in AI marketing, what steps you need to take to implement it in your business. I'm giving you a free AI marketing checklist, but then I'm also kind of giving you an ebook that we've done on game-changing results, which talks about 6 marketing channels and how to use them, how it'll save you time and money, and competitor analysis as well. So I think the prompts that you can use to sort of look at the competition and the industry and identify opportunities is fantastic. So all you need to do is go to that link now if you're interested in these resources. I guess that just leaves 5 minutes for any questions.
So Sam, what's the best way to keep on top of future trends in AI? Because a lot of the tools you've talked about are great now, but there's, like you said, many tools out there. How did you discover these, and what's the best with them keeping up with contemporary stuff?
Personally, I did a lot of study. I felt like I'd gone back to uni myself. I watching lots of YouTube tutorials, following certain AI influencers, people in tech. I follow them on LinkedIn, TikTok, etc. So all the time, like every day is a school day, and every day there's something new, something which you need to get your head around. But I think it is pivotal. So like the tools that I've demonstrated to you today are, I probably, if I came back in 6 months, I'll be talking about different ones, because something else that would have emerged that does 10 times more for less money. So yeah, just always keeping on top, and you can subscribe to certain newsletters, monitor certain blogs, and use AI to like prompt ChatGPT to tell you when there's something new posted online on a specific site.
So just as a reminder, there's one other practitioner talk at the end of March, and it's going to be actually a mix between teaching and learning and practical aspects, because it's an academic, but she is also a practitioner at the same time, so it will be a split session. But you can find more information about this session on this, and here's a QR code, I'll leave that on there, on this lovely QR code if you want to have a look at it for the next event in March. Just as a quick hit, people are taking their phones out, that's why I'm going to rumble on for a couple more seconds to give everyone the fair chance to zoom in, press on the link, and potentially say sign up, because it's always a good sign if people are still motivated to go for another talk after the previous one. The other thing is, Sam was so kind and did this obviously in her own time, just for us, which is absolutely amazing. It would be lovely to get some feedback. So Anjan was nice enough to create a very brief survey. It doesn't contain any personal information. It's generally just if you learned something, what you take away, and leaving some feedback. It's just a nice thing to kind of give back to the speakers who come in and give their time.
Can I? Sorry, and double mic. Because obviously it's quite a new journey to me. If you have got time and you did enjoy it, if you could look at Disruptor training on Trustpilot and just leave me a cheeky little review, that would be lovely. Thank you.
Awesome. Other than that, we as a group want to say a big thank you to everyone online. It was lovely that you guys joined. We had like 70 plus people join at any one time, and then also to everyone within the room. The people in the room obviously now go to the business lounge and get a biscuit if you have time and a cup of tea. Everyone online, have a lovely day, and thank you all for joining. Take care, and hopefully see you at the next session.